Are you eager to put your wrapping skills to test on a bumper? If so, then this video is for you. Wrapping bumpers is more challenging than wrapping flat 1D and curved 2D surfaces. This is because bumpers contain a combination of 1D, 2D and 3D surfaces. By 1D, we're referring to flat surfaces like this one. By 2D, we're referring to surfaces that curve in two directions. And by 3D, we're referring to surfaces that go in three directions, like this one and this one. On bumpers, you typically find concave surfaces, 3D areas that go in, and convex surfaces, 3D areas that come out. As you can see, the bumper itself is a large convex area, and as with all convex areas, we will need to stretch the film over it. The challenge with bumpers is they contain concave spaces underneath the large convex stretch. So, the goal is to find a balance in tension that gives you enough stretch over the convex parts of the bumper, but leaves you enough flexibility for the material to reach into the deepest parts of these 3D concave surfaces. Just like when applying to other 3D areas like corrugations, you need to leave enough material in the bridge so later you can push in without creating too much tension. So now let's see how to wrap a bumper full of 3D sections. First, you need to analyse the bumper. Where are the 1D and 2D areas? Where are the 3D concaved and convex areas? Remember, there will need to be a balance of tension between these parts. We'll start by analysing the rear bumper, because it's typically simpler than the front bumper. As we mentioned, a bumper is mainly a large convex surface. But here we also have a concaved area and here a flat area. So first we'll wrap this principal convex line and then we'll stretch the film vertically, up and down as we bring it around. And then we'll follow the shape of this concaved area. We first wrap this half, then this half. Once that's done, we'll get into this zone, which is the most complex part. But we can make it easier on ourselves by first applying a separate piece of matte black film here inside, and then overlapping it with our main piece of film. By doing so, we avoid stretching the material and therefore have safer application. It is also okay to do this from the same piece without inlay, but then you must carefully follow the 3D techniques. On the front bumper, we'll do something similar. For this independent section below, we'll use a separate piece of film. It's cut in two spots, so aligning this correctly with digital print can be difficult. Instead, we'll use a piece of satin black film and it will look great. Here we have a challenging section made up of a flat surface with a concaved area below it and another one above it. Now that we've analysed the bumper, and assuming that we've cleaned and prepared the surface correctly with Avery Dennison surface cleaner, let's start wrapping. Cut a piece of material large enough to cover the entire bumper. However, you may also wrap the bumper one half at a time. For this video, we'll wrap the entire bumper. Measure the height of the bumper, but cut a little more than you've measured so you have some extra film to work with. Working with a colleague, apply the film to the most prominent convex surface. This is just to temporarily fix it in place. Final adjustments will come next. Heat the film while your partner creates some horizontal tension. While the film is still warm, use both hands to extend it vertically, while your colleague continues to pull horizontally. Warm the next section and repeat. Now lift the other side of the bumper that was temporarily fixed and repeat the process. While your colleague is giving horizontal tension, you heat the film and apply the vertical tension. Always working section by section. Now go back and release the tension using heat, so the film can settle into place while you perfect the positioning. Now we'll work our way into the concaved area, first by wetting our glove, then by heating the area to around 45 to 55 degrees Celsius. Following the ridge can be more difficult than on a van corrugation because the outline can be less predictable. So use your sense of touch to help guide you. When finished with the concaved area, continue working on the other parts, precisely controlling the tension. Now we will work on the lower concave zone. After wetting the glove, heat the area before marking the outline of the zone. The area needs to be quite warm before pushing in. First, we'll follow the contour. And now push out any air. What we did down here, we will now do up here. Then we'll do the flat part. Heat to release tension. Quick tip, on some bumpers you may need to tuck the material even deeper than we have to do on this one. In those cases, it can be a smart idea to release tension by making an incision in this area where the material is going to be trimmed off anyway. Notice that the film moves under the current of the hot air. That is a good indication that the temperature is correct. Now we push in just like before and repeat the pressure on the contour. Use a squeegee to smooth it out and remove any remaining air. Mark the edge. Looks like we're almost ready for post-heating and cutting. But first, let's double check all the contours and finish with the other areas. Heat, mark, squeegee out the air, always towards the open end. And there we have it. Time to cut and tuck the vinyl. First, we'll trim the edges. Pull back the overlap. Then, with a little heat, we can relax the vinyl to help us introduce it into the ridge. Cut and peel. Now we will remove the film that sits under the rubber parts. First, we heat this area, then mark the edge. Then cut 5mm below the rubber. And tuck to leave it well finished. We'll finish the bottom line of the bumper by first heating it up to relax it. Lift it up and let it cool. It's very important to let it cool before we take it to its position. Use your squeegees to place it, smooth it and fix it to the bumper. Repeat these techniques over the rest of the bumper. Cutting, tucking. Take your time while cutting and pivoting to carefully maintain your correct angle. Using the right tools will make tucking much easier and give great results. Finally, use a heat gun and a thermometer to bring the material up to 95 degrees Celsius to lock it into position. Remember, you need to lock the film into all the areas where you stretched it over 3D shapes. That will allow you to avoid the film popping up. Remember, you can use matte black film to elegantly finish off difficult areas like this one. As you can see, 3D bumper application is challenging. Not only do bumpers contain convex and concave shapes, but some of these areas may also be very deep. Not only that, but every vehicle's bumper is unique. For these reasons, you need to make sure to take your time to analyse the bumper as part of your preparation. Practice and master your 3D application techniques. And finally, lock the material into place by heating up to 95 degrees Celsius. Thank you for watching. Join me for more videos and application techniques.